the station taking action for you. This is ABC Action News.
Right now, states of emergency, schools and businesses shutting down. A massive ice and snow system ensnaring 90 million Americans. Also impacting your trip to the airport here in Tampa.
All right, brace yourself once again today for the heat and humidity, and I'll let you know when this rain is going to settle into our area.
And inside job? It seemed like a plot lifted right out of a Hollywood thriller. Thieves tie up armed guards and make off with millions in gold.
That story did seem right out of Hollywood, didn't it? All right, well, looking forward to the update there. Take a look at the temperatures as you step out the door this morning. 68 in Tampa, 65 in Kathleen, 67 in St. Pete. It is going to be another warm and humid day ahead. Lots of sunshine, fair weather clouds, very low chances for rain during the day today. Only a brief shower beginning around 3 o'clock is possible. And again, most of the area perfectly dry with a high of 81. I did mention those rain chances are going up. I'll have more on that coming up in Florida's most accurate 7-day. And of course, you get updates all morning long on Twitter at Tampa Bay Weather. And as far as the traffic goes this morning, Lindsay, are you getting a little busier over there right now? What's going on?
Shay, it is starting to pick up out on the major roadways right now, but still no major issues to talk about this morning. If we can somehow back up the traffic map, or I can just tell you that you're in the green over the Bay Area bridges this morning. On the toll roads, also no issues. Heads up northbound 275 north of Beers. You are reopened. All of that emergency road repair has since cleared from yesterday and overnight, so you shouldn't have a problem. South of that 275, this is what it looks like. Southbound lanes right here at Bush Boulevard, 5 minutes on down to I-4, so we're looking good there. This is going to be I-75 at I-4 where traffic is moving just fine. No problems coming on up from Riverview or down south from the Apex. US 19 right now, 12 minutes from Tampa Road down to East Bay. Still looking great down the Veterans. Dale Mabry, Fletcher to Waters, 4 minutes, but I am starting to see volume increase, and we'll keep you updated with all these real-time drive times for you right here on ABC Action News and on my Twitter account at Tampa Bay Traffic. So come on over and hang out with me. Dan.
Thanks, Lindsay. 6:02 right now. Florida is certainly the place to be. From the heart of Texas to the Jersey Shore, winter weather advisories are up across more than 20 states, many issuing states of emergency as this massive system dumps snow, ice, and cold rain on tens of millions of people. Take a look at our live radar map here, which shows where the storm is right now. As you can see, states from Arkansas all the way up through the Ohio Valley, including West Virginia, Kentucky, getting the worst of the snow. Some places expected to see up to a foot of snow by the time this storm passes. Take a look at some video now out of Louisville showing snow already piling up on the roads. Because of that, the biggest school districts in the city are canceling classes. That storm system expected to move east and impact the Mid-Atlantic and New England next, which could lead to Boston breaking a snowfall record.
And Dan, that nasty weather is grounding thousands of flights across the country right now, including right here in Tampa. ABC Action News reporter Ashley Yore is live for us at TIA. Ashley, how many flights out there are canceled?
Well, we may not be feeling that bad weather, but we're definitely feeling the effect on our flights. Take a look at this board. More than 20 flights here at TIA have already been delayed or canceled. We're talking about flights to New York's LaGuardia Airport, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., even Dallas, Fort Worth, canceled already. Now, here at United Airways, or U.S. Airways, I'm sorry, they already have about 3 to 4 cancellations up on this board, and that's why, because take a look at that winter storm we were talking about. More than 2,000 flights throughout the country are already delayed or canceled. If you're trying to fly today to Texas or up to the Northeast, you better check that flight status before you even leave the house. Now, the airport here, you can see, still pretty busy this morning, so not all flights canceled or delayed, but definitely a good chunk of them. That's also affecting arrivals. So people trying to come down to Tampa for a vacation, yeah, they may not be making it on time. But of course, we are going to keep watching the skies and watching those statuses. We will keep you updated both on air and online. For now, reporting live at TIA, I'm Ashley Yore, ABC Action News.
Well, we We know that a lot of you have family and friends in other parts of the country, and you are concerned about how they're dealing with this awful weather. So be sure and stay tuned for Good Morning America. They got reporters fanned out across the country with live updates on the storm system all morning long. And here at home, we will, of course, keep checking those flight delays at TIA for you throughout the morning.
6:05 right now. The U.S. ambassador to South Korea is recovering in a Seoul hospital after a man slashed him in the face and wrist with a knife. We want to warn you that some people may find the following images disturbing. A man screaming demands for a unified North and South Korea slashed Ambassador Mark Lippert as he prepared for a speech about prospects for peace on the divided Korean peninsula. You can see in this new video Lippert arriving at the hospital. You can see him bandaged up there after surgery. He is in stable condition. President Obama calling Lippert after the attack to express his prayers for a speedy recovery.
5 minutes after 6 right now. This morning, the city of Ferguson, Missouri is taking new action in the wake of a scathing Justice Department report reveals a pattern of discrimination and systematic racial bias. We now know a police department employee has been fired and 2 other city employees are on administrative leave now that racially charged emails have come to light. Ferguson was catapulted into the national spotlight after the shooting death of a black teenager by a white police officer. The Department of Justice has officially closed its investigation into that shooting and is not charging Officer Darren Wilson and Michael Brown's death.
We're getting new numbers into the newsroom revealing the number of FDLE investigations into officer-involved shootings in the state is on the rise. Our sister station in Orlando, WFTV, reporting these types of investigations have more than doubled, jumping from just 50 in 2013 to more than 100 in 2014. And FDLE says it only expects those caseloads to get larger from here. It recently requested that is more money from state lawmakers to keep up. Meantime, the actions of a Volusia County deputy who shot and killed a man during a SWAT mission yesterday are under scrutiny. Derek Cruz was shot in the face as deputies were trying to serve a search warrant for drugs. Officials say Cruz came toward a deputy as they tried to enter the home. The Cruz's friend claims he was unarmed and wasn't even wearing a shirt, so it would have been difficult for him to conceal a weapon.
It's kind of hard to conceal anything or hide anything when this is all you have on. I mean, how much can I hide here, you know? This is what he was wearing. They entered the house and fired.
Investigators haven't said yet whether they recovered a weapon.
Well, we want to keep you up to date on those 2 officer-involved shootings here in the Bay Area yesterday. We start out with a shooting that we brought you as breaking news here on ABC Action News all day yesterday morning. The search in South Tampa is getting even more desperate right now for the armed robber who held up a CVS store on South Howard Avenue. That man and his accomplice ordered a customer out at gunpoint and then dragged clerks around the store looking for cash. Officers shot one of the suspects as he tried to get away. The other did manage to get away. Police say they're now analyzing evidence left behind at the scene, and they tell us they do expect to make an arrest very soon. And on to the other shooting. This morning, 2 Lake Wales police officers injured during a shootout with a 911 caller are out of the hospital and they're on paid leave. Authorities say this man, John Gopfreach, laid a trap summoning police to his home Tuesday night and then opening fire on them. Officers Benjamin Metz and John Schwartz were hurt during that 15-minute firefight. The bullet that hit Schwartz was stopped by his duty belt. Gopfreach is facing several attempted murder charges this morning.
All right, as you head out the door this morning, yeah, we've got that big winter mess that is moving in our direction. But the great news is that at least for today, we are still looking at a gorgeous day to be just hanging out by the pool. That rain, it's on its way, but at least for this afternoon, only a slight chance of a brief passing shower. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, warm, humid, and a high of 81. I'll have the timeline for you on when to expect that rain to move in. Coming up in Florida's most accurate 7-day, Dia.
All right, thank you, Shay. 9 minutes after 6, a violent chain reaction crash caught on camera. And it was all triggered by a bus driver nodding off at the wheel. This amazing video of the chaos that unfolded coming up.
And that brazen gold heist worth millions of dollars taking a twist. The new signs that it was all an inside job from the start.
And we also want to let you know about a big event coming up. Dr. Oz himself is coming to Tampa, and you can see him for free. He's part of our ABC Action News Taking Action for Your Health Expo coming to Westfield Citrus Park on Saturday, March 21st. That expo begins at 10 in the morning. We posted all the details on abcactionnnews.com/Dr. Oz Live. 12 minutes after 6 right now. If you are not near your TV, take a second and come on over, because this is the video that you're going to see everywhere today. This bus driver you see right here is lucky to be alive after falling asleep behind the wheel and slamming on brakes at the very last second. I want to show you a closer look now at what happened. The amazing and horrifying video comes out of Detroit. You can see that bus plows right into the car in front of it. It sends another careening into traffic. The bus driver brakes so hard he's almost standing up behind the wheel. Now, this video is especially disturbing because of how big a problem sleepy drivers are. They are to blame for 1 out of every 5 car accidents. ABC's Lindsay Davis is diving deeper into that big issue coming up on Good Morning America.
A motive just now coming to light nearly 6 months after a gruesome crime that stunned people all over Florida. State investigators now revealing what they learned about Don Spirit and why he killed his daughter and 6 grandchildren in Bell last September, the youngest victim just 3 months old. According to a new report, Spirit spoke with a deputy who arrived on scene after he called to confess what he'd done. Spirit told the deputy a relative of his daughter's boyfriend got her into prostitution and drugs. He then said, quote, "I'm fed up with this whole family. They have ruined my life and I'm tired of them all, and I have taken care of it today." He then picked up a handgun and shot himself in front of deputies. If you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, you can find help posted on abcactionnews.com and on our Taking Action Against Domestic Violence Facebook page.
New details emerging about that multi-million-dollar gold heist now has authorities suspecting it was an inside job. Investigators say they're hearing an entirely different account now of what actually happened, and that has them really suspicious. According to a search warrant, the crew of a truck hauling almost $5 million worth of gold bars told them that one of the guards on board got car sick, so they stopped on the shoulder of I-95 in North Carolina, and that is when the robbery happened. But the problem is that's different from the original police report, which said a mechanical issue made the Miami-based crew pull over. Investigators also say it's suspicious that the truck was robbed right after it stopped. The search for the thieves, though, is still very active right now. They allegedly tied those guards' hands behind their backs before making off with the gold. The sketches that you're seeing right there, they were just released in hopes that somebody will recognize these guys and turn them in. By the way, there's a $50,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest.
Hollywood writers are like clicking away right now at the keyboard. All right, let's take a look at what's going on Florida's most accurate 7-day. 81 degrees is the high today. In fact, you're stepping out the door to warm and humid conditions already this morning. 68 in Tampa right now, 64 in Zephyr Hills, 63 right now in Brooksville. So Brooksville has warmed up 5 degrees since the last time we checked in with them. 66 right now in Clearwater. The reason for the warmth, winds are coming from the south. But tomorrow, take a look at how it changes. 76 degrees is a high. That frontal system that's causing so much trouble for our friends to the north, well, it'll start to bring us a chance for rain overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. This is hit or miss, though, as we continue on into the weekend. And with only 30% coverage from tonight onto tomorrow, not a real big deal. I'm not even overly concerned about tomorrow morning's commute because this is going to be so patchy and so light. We'll keep a close eye on it. You know, Lindsay and I will let you know if we have any problems for the morning commute, but at least for now, looking good. And as we head into the weekend, the big reminder, once again, you know, we've been talking about it all week, is to set those clocks forward. Yeah, we all lose that hour of sleep, but we don't want to be, you know, off on our timing for wherever we're headed. Into next week, the rain chances still remain pretty minimal, but it is a little bit wetter looking than what we've seen so far this week. And, you know, you can find me on Twitter at Tampa Bay Weather and get updates all morning long. I keep that process going for you as well. I'm always busy on the keyboard, and Lindsay, I know you are as well. What's going on in the traffic area right now?
Shay, we both sure do spend a lot of time on Twitter posting out things like this, average speeds, real-time real-time drive times for you this morning. Starting off right now, 6:16, almost 6:17, pushing 70 over the Howard Franklin Bridge this morning. I don't think if you're walking out the door, you're going to have any problems getting to where you need to go. There are a couple of minor, very, very minor incidents right now. You can find those on Twitter at Tampa Bay Traffic, none of them affecting the majors. Some low cloud cover right now over the downtown Tampa skyline, but Shay has been checking those visibility reports all morning, and there's no issues right now with any fog visibility issues throughout the day. So just keep that in mind this morning when you see those low clouds. Average speeds right now on Hillsborough Avenue, I can tell you 10 minutes right now from 275 to the Veterans Expressway, and 5 minutes coming on down from Memorial Highway. So just keep that in mind. Things there looking great. Again, real-time drive times for you. You can find them all morning long. They're on Twitter at Tampa Bay Traffic. Dan, over to you.
Thanks, Lindsay. 6:18 now this morning. Dodge is sounding the alarm about some of its own dealerships, warning some salespeople might be trying to rip you off. The company says some of its dealers are taking deposits for hot car models they can't deliver, forcing customers to wait for months to get their new rides if they can get them at all. Those hot models customers are after the 2015 Dodge Challenger and Charger SRT Hellcat models.
And this news about your favorite sweets might put you in a sour mood. Leading health experts say the world is eating too much sugar, and here in America, we should cut the amount that we eat by more than half. New guidelines from the World Health Organization recommend that everyone slash that amount to less than 10% of their daily diet. They say it'll help prevent serious illnesses like heart disease, diabetes, even cancer. Now, if you're convinced that you need to cut sugar and you want to make changes, but you're not sure exactly where to start, here are some surprising things that have more sugar in them than you might think. Pasta sauces and other condiments, crackers, energy drinks, and even low-fat yogurt.
6:19 now. Cape Canaveral is becoming a very busy place for rocket launches again. 25 of them are scheduled just this year, including 4 this month. All those launches, the reason the Air Force says they need this, a brand new multi-vehicle launch support center. The $500,000 room won't be where engineers gather on launch day to send commands to rockets. Rather, it's where government workers and contractors can come together to review data pre and post launch.
Well, still to come this morning, a tragic case of animal cruelty is now getting national attention. These shocking and heartbreaking images have so many of you asking, who would shoot a dog and then leave it to die? But first this morning, a frat spat gets out of hand. Wait until you see the lengths some college students went to get back at their neighbor.
Cutting the cord, a cable channel getting ready to launch its own online streaming service. Here's ABC's Rena Ninan and TJ Holmes.
Hey there, in today's Tech Bites, big news for fans of Game of Thrones.
Now, HBO will reportedly launch HBO Now next month, a streaming service that allows consumers to subscribe to HBO without going through a cable or satellite provider.
Debut in time for the 5th season of Game of Thrones, costs $15 a month. Well, the much buzzed about Yoda Phone 2 is coming to America.
And the dual screen device features both an LCD for watching videos and an e-ink display for reading books. The Russian-made smartphone will be available next month on the website Indiegogo. And finally, redheads are demanding some emoji representation from Apple. Redheads now.
Thousands have signed an online petition calling for red-headed emojis to be included in Apple's next operating system update. The Gingers say if Apple is going to diversify, they should be included too.
Everybody fight their own battles in your Tech Bites.
All right, you're looking out at downtown Tampa right now. See those low clouds there? Yeah, no concern for drivers. The visibility is still good at ground level all across Tampa Bay and the suburbs. So great news there. As you head out the door, you're getting the kids ready for school this morning. It's another warm and humid day ahead. And it's pretty warm and humid to start the day as well, but we're headed to a high of 81, only a slight chance for a brief shower later this afternoon. So I'm giving today an A+. This time of year, it doesn't get much better than this. And this is the last day of this. I'll show you how the weather's going to change in the days ahead, coming up in Florida's most accurate 7-day. Dan?
All right, Shay, thank you. 6:24 right now. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is preparing to hand over thousands of emails from her time in office. It's because of a subpoena from a House committee investigating the deadly attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. Clinton took responsibility for security problems that contributed to the 2012 terror attack that killed 4 Americans. That subpoena coming just days after the New York Times first reported Clinton used her personal email account for all of her work during her term as Secretary of State, a violation of federal law.
A Texas fraternity's fight with the family next door is getting very ugly, and that neighbor says he's got the video to prove it. Check out these surveillance pictures showing Sigma Chi brothers at Southern Methodist University urinating outside on their neighbor's fence, writing obscenities in the snow on his lawn, spitting on his house, and even throwing raw meat onto his patio. The neighbor claims they're trying to get back at him for complaining about the noise that they make at night.
I brought it to their attention, said you can't do that, and they told me they pay rent and they can do whatever they want. It's their right.
Well, SMU says its student code of conduct extends beyond its campus community and is now looking into the matter. Now be sure and stay tuned. ABC's Candace Gibson has even more troubling video that you didn't see. That's coming up on Good Morning America.
6:26 ahead at 6:30. You'll be seeing these tragic images a lot on your Facebook feed this morning. Thousands of people sharing our story overnight about a dog found shot and tied to some train tracks in Tampa. ABC Action News reporter Adam Weiner bringing us an update on how she's doing right now.
Lindsay Logue here in the ABC Action Traffic Center. Live look right here at my camera. I-75 at Fowler Avenue. Traffic starting to build northbound, southbound, but you still have a smooth commute from the Apex on down south and from Big Bend Road on down up to I-4. Things there looking great. We'll have a look at some real-time drive times for you right after this break.
Live from the station taking action for you, this is ABC Action News.
Now at 6:30, these pictures are breaking hearts all over the Bay Area right now. So many of you are asking how anyone could shoot a dog and leave it to suffer.
Plus, the future of the Rays in Tampa Bay possibly taking a new step forward today.
And it's being dubbed the new gossip girl.
They were mean-spirited comments, vulgarity.
What do you need to know about the internet burn book that's raising red flags about cyberbullying?
All right, Lindsay and I are keeping a very close eye on a low deck of clouds. You can see it shown here in gray across the area. The visibility at ground level right now is looking good, but it is coming down in Tampa. We went from 10 miles to 2.5 miles just in the last few minutes. St. Pete still at 10 miles, 5 miles in Lakeland, Zephyr Hills, 7 miles in Inverness. So if you're headed out the door right now, things look great. But we will keep an eye on this. As I said, those visibilities have been coming down. If they get down to ground level, could create some issues for the morning drive, and we'll keep you posted every step of the way. It is warm and muggy as you head out the door this morning to temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. We'll be up to 77 by noon with a nice mix of sun and clouds. Slight chance for a brief shower later on this afternoon, mainly from 3 o'clock on through about sunset. I don't think this is going to cause you any issues. And with a high of 81, it's going to be a gorgeous day for hanging at the pool or going to the beach. This is Florida's most accurate day planner. I'll have the 7-day coming up. And you know, because we've been talking about it all week, that the higher rain chances are ahead, and I'll detail that for you. But now I know you want to know more about that morning commute. So, Lindsay, what are you seeing out there?
Shay, we are seeing that low cloud cover that you've been talking about. Check it out over the skyline here downtown Tampa. My live camera, I-275 at Jefferson Street. But as you said, no reports of low visibility at the ground level. Traffic moving along just fine on all of the majors right now, but the low clouds are keeping Captain Al grounded this morning because they are about 200 feet. He said he got stuck, had to turn around and land. Traffic moving just fine outside Tampa International Airport, the southbound end of the Veterans to Memorial Highway, right here where it hits up to State Road 60 and the ramps to I-275. Not going to have a problem through that area. A lot of construction projects overnight. I do want to let you know about one piece of good news. 275 northbound all clear north of Beers after that emergency road repair that took us into the overnight hours tonight. So you will be fine 275, and northbound southbound you're looking good right now. Drive times 22 minutes on I-4 from County Line Road coming on into downtown Tampa. Southbound 75 from 52 to I-4 26 minutes, and Big Bend Road for folks down there in Riverview on up to I-4 a 16-minute commute. A couple minor incidents out there. You can find those on Twitter at Tampa Bay Traffic.
Out here now at the .com wall, you're seeing these horrible and heartbreaking images of this injured dog showing up on your Facebook feed this morning. They're inspiring a call to action all over the Bay Area and even making national news overnight. Tampa police need your help right now. They want to find the person who tied that dog to some railroad tracks with a belt, shot it multiple times, and then left the dog to die. Luckily, the dog survived and was taken to an animal clinic. And that's where our Adam Weiner joins us right now with more on how she's doing this morning. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Dia. In fact, I just spoke to the vet taking care of Cabela here at the Tampa Bay Vet Clinic, the emergency vet clinic. She says the dog needs lots of rest, but still has lots of surgery ahead of her. That vet also gave us a great look at Cabela and how she's doing this morning. Take a look. You can see her resting inside. Cabela, as you mentioned, found by Tampa police officers in the Sulphur Springs community yesterday evening. Cabela was, as you mentioned, tied up with a belt to railroad tracks, had a bullet, we're told, in her neck as well as in her right shoulder. And it's in that right shoulder that the biggest problem lies. The dog's bone apparently so badly damaged, the whole leg is going to need to be amputated. The vet telling me they're going to let Cabela rest for a little bit before that big surgery. I'm told this 1 to 2 year old dog will likely need to recover for about a month before she can be adopted. Meanwhile, Tampa police are hoping that you will go and share this photo of Cabela that, as you saw, is on our Facebook page as well as on abcactionnews.com. They are hoping that by sharing this photo, getting that image out there, that they will be able to find the owners of the dog and then truly find out who is behind this terrible case of animal cruelty. For now, live in Tampa, Adam Weiner, ABC Action News.
634 covering Polk County this morning. A Polk County judge accused of having an inappropriate relationship with her bailiff will be formally reprimanded by the Florida Supreme Court this morning. This is a case we've been following for more than 18 months. Back in July 2013, Judge Susan Flood's relationship with bailiff Bubba Maxey came to light when a fired Polk judicial assistant filed discrimination and sexual harassment claims. The state determined Flood and Maxey's relationship helped to, quote, undermine confidence in the judiciary. Maxey retired in 2013. Flood will be allowed to remain a judge in Polk County.
25 minutes till 7 now. We just checked with jail officials in Hillsborough County, and they tell us an armed robbery suspect charged with attempted murder is going to be in court for the first time today. Investigators say the victim helped lead them to the suspect, Eric Levy, who lives just down the street on Deerfield Drive. Well, last Friday, the victim told investigators 4 men robbed and shot him in the stomach with a .22 caliber rifle. He is expected to be okay, but the investigation into Levy's alleged accomplice is still going on right now.
636 covering Pinellas County, the future of the Tampa Bay Rays in St. Petersburg and the potential impact if the team left the city will be discussed in just about 2 hours. 2 weeks ago, the City Council held a workshop to answer questions regarding the Rays' future at Tropicana Field. Today, the council will vote on 2 resolutions. One expresses their desire to keep the team in the city. The other asks how much it would cost to determine the economic impact if the city the team relocated from St. Petersburg.
Yeah, but Dan, the players certainly aren't worried about the stadium issue right now. They're making final preparations for the first Grapefruit League game of the spring. The players host the Baltimore Orioles at Charlotte Sports Park at 1:05. Now, if you don't want to travel down I-75 to watch the Rays play, don't worry. Tampa Bay is also playing 13 spring games here in the Bay Area, including games at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa on March 9th and April 1st.
ABC Action News taking you live now to Franklin, Kentucky, not far from Bowling Green, where it is 21 degrees and snowing. They're currently under a winter weather advisory through this evening. They are expecting a couple of inches today before sunshine returns there tomorrow. Officials, though, from Texas through the Ohio Valley to the Mid-Atlantic and New England, urging drivers to stay off the roads. The same system bringing snow, ice, cold rain, and flooding to 24 states. You can see there it's making news all around the country. Here's a live look at the flight boards at Tampa International Airport. Seeing some delays and cancellations. In fact, about 20 flights heading to Philly, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Dallas, Chicago. Even some destinations in Canada are canceled or delayed.
Oh, and that nasty storm, it's headed our way, but it's going to fall apart. It'll bring our rain chances up, and I'll have more on that coming up ahead. But at least for this morning, as you walk out, the temperatures are warm. It is muggy out there. The humidity is building. We'll have some extra clouds midday. And then from about 3 o'clock on, we'll have a slight chance for a brief passing shower as we reach a high of 81. This is Florida's most accurate hourly forecast. You can get updates like this on my Facebook page as well as on Twitter at Tampa Bay Weather all morning long. Lindsay, how are things looking on the roads?
All right, Shay. Hey, good morning, everybody. Traffic on the majors this morning moving along just fine, starting to get jammed up in the usual spots downtown Tampa right now and at the junction I-4 at 275. Check out the low cloud cover over the skyline this morning. The good news is that's all it is, low cloud cover, not fog. It's not going to impact your visibility or your drive times this morning. We're going to have an update on a couple other traffic incidents around town coming up in just a couple of minutes. Dia, over to you.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. 6:38 right now. Still to come, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev's attorneys admit he is guilty of participating in the Boston Marathon bombings. What that means as the trial enters its second day of testimony. It is coming up right now in 19 minutes till 7, and we have an important warning this morning for new parents, especially if your baby sleeps in a bassinet. A consumer alert is out right now warning you that one bassinet could put your baby in danger. There's a recall right now for the 2-in-1 bassinet to cradle. It's made by Dream on Me Incorporated. The problem? The wire supports on the sides of the bassinet can disconnect, and that causes the sides of the cradle to lower. That means babies could fall out, or they could get tangled up in the fabric, which could cause them to suffocate. Now, so far, there's only been one incident, and luckily that baby is okay. But you can take action to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. We have more information on the models that fall under this recall posted right now on our website, abcactionnews.com. Just search under the Taking Action section to see it.
Well, right now, a mad scramble to get to the bottom of that super bug outbreak in California, where now a second hospital is saying some of its patients have been infected with the antibiotic-resistant bacteria CRE. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center saying it's putting endoscope procedures on hold for now. Those hard-to-clean devices are linked to the outbreak. The hospital says 4 people have been infected since August. 1 has died, but they say it was from an underlying medical condition. The medical center says it's sending testing kits to dozens of patients to make sure more weren't exposed.
Still ahead this morning, inspired by Mean Girls and dubbed the new Gossip Girl, the new take on cyberbullying that has parents working overtime right now to keep their kids safe.
6:45, 6:45 on this Thursday morning, continuing our coverage of former Florida Gator Aaron Hernandez's murder trial. The Massachusetts judge in that trial will not allow prosecutors to introduce evidence about Hernandez allegedly shooting a friend here in Florida months before Odin Lloyd was killed. It's the second time, in fact, the judge has ruled that way, but prosecutors asked the judge to revisit her ruling because the defense is claiming Hernandez would never shoot a friend. Right now, there's no indication when the jury might get the case.
Another trial in Boston that we're closely monitoring right now is the federal terrorism trial of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. It enters its second day of testimony today. Yesterday, defense attorneys admitted Tsarnaev participated in the Boston Marathon bombings. However, they insist that he was being heavily influenced to participate by his older brother. Prosecutors called their first 6 witnesses, including a spectator severely injured in the bombing, who says she thought she was going to die. Coming up on Good Morning America, ABC's Brian Ross will discuss some of the gripping testimony from yesterday.
As a parent, this will make your blood boil. You've heard of it from the popular movie Mean Girls. In it, a group of teens created a burn book insulting other students at the school, and mayhem broke out, of course, when it circulated around campus. Well, now there is a new burn book app going viral at one California school, and the drama it's causing is just as bad in real life. One student says some students have stopped coming to school because of it. A few kids are even on suicide watch after the nasty comments were seen on the app. The high school is taking serious action, saying if students post inappropriate messages that harass or bully other students, they will be charged not only by the school, but by police as well. Coming up on Good Morning America, we'll hear from a parenting expert to discuss the effects something like this app can have on our kids and how you can help your teen if they ever become a target of cyberbullying.
All right, 6:47 right now on this Thursday morning. Veterans drivers, take a look. If you're about to walk out the door, real-time drive times 15 minutes right now. Southbound from Van Dyke down to 275. From 54 to 275, 20 minutes. Heads up, you might see some EMS folk on the side of the road northbound near Hillsborough Avenue. We're working to find out what's going on there. US 41 at Valroy Road, you're going to have a crash there and roadblock northbound on US 41. Heads up in Seminole, Harbor Greens Way at Commodore Drive, a crash there. And still have reports from FHP of a breakdown that's blocking a lane on 50th Street at Causeway Boulevard. So keep that in mind before you walk out the door. Starting to see traffic build on the majors. This is going to be I-4. The headlights here you see heading eastbound right now. My camera at 34th Street. No issues though, crashes or breakdowns to report on any of the major roadways. You will see low cloud cover though over the Tampa skyline, I-275 at Jefferson Street, but it is not impacting the drive times this morning because it's not at that low level impacting the visibility issues. For more on that, let's check in with Shay, who has some technology to help us out with this.
Yeah, Lindsay, like you were saying, you can see those clouds hovering at the top of the skyline, and here it looks a little hazy at the Mainsail Beach Inn on Anna Maria Island, but the visibility at the ground level is good, and that is what is key about heading out the door this morning. When you've got 2.5 miles of visibility, you're looking good on the roadways. And when it gets to less than a mile, that's when we start to talk about some issues with slowdowns possible on the roads. But we have 10 miles of visibility in St. Pete, 5 miles in Lakeland, so all of our major roadways in and out of downtown Tampa and heading over to Polk County and further north on I-75, looking good out there. And it's nice and dry. 69 degrees in Tampa right now, 66 in Clearwater, 66 in St. Pete. A warm and humid day ahead. Yeah, it's getting steamy out there and we're loving it, right? I hope so. 65 right now in Lakeland, Lake Wales, and in Sebring, 59 in Inverness. The winds are coming from the south. That's pumping in that warmth and the moisture that, yeah, we call it humidity. But take a look. There are some changes on the way. This is a nasty system for travelers and for our friends to the north. This is going to bring us some rain, but this system really calms down as it moves through our area. We'll start to have higher chances for rain after sunset tonight, really after midnight. During the day, only about 10% chance that you'll see a brief passing shower. Then after that, from Friday on into next week, in fact, we'll have off and on chances for rain somewhere between 10 to 30% coverage. So this weekend isn't a washout. One reminder though, turn those clocks forward from Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then you're going to be on time as you head back into the work week. That's Florida's most accurate 7-day forecast. You can find me on Twitter at Tampa Bay Weather and of course on Facebook. All kinds of fun stuff there. Dan?
10 till 7, 6:50 this morning. We want to wish a very happy 117th birthday to the world's oldest person, Misao Okawa of Japan. Misao celebrated her birthday yesterday with her family, including her son. He's 92 years old. She was born in 1898, just a third person confirmed in history to reach the age of 117. She's losing her hearing, but Misao still eats well and remains in good health.
Happy birthday to her. Well, coming up next in your morning sprint, some people could soon be forced to show ID just to go to the bathroom. The controversial issue lighting up social media here in Florida. We'll see you back here in 60 seconds.
Time now, 6:52, 8 till 7. Your morning sprint counting it down to Good Morning America.
We start out this morning with Adam Weiner and an update on a horrible case of animal abuse.
Yeah, the world is really wondering who on earth would tie up a young, healthy dog and shoot it. That's what Tampa police are also trying to figure out this morning after rescuing the mixed breed dog yesterday evening in the Sulphur Springs community of the Tampa area. The vet caring for the dog, named Cabela by officers, says the dog should survive, but says one of the bullets found in Cabela's leg caused so much damage, the front right leg will need to be amputated. You can help police find the person behind the case of animal cruelty by sharing the photos of Cabela on the homepage of our website, abcactionnews.com.
Morning sprint takes us now to Bradenton, where we're waiting to see if the man charged in the shooting death of Riverview High School student Terry Rawls will take the stand in his own defense. ABC Action News will be there as Frank Bryce's trial wraps up. We'll keep you updated throughout the day on air, online, and on our mobile app.
We're also watching to see if a convicted Polk County killer will get another chance to go to trial. A Supreme Court decision today could appeal Joseph Bearden's conviction for the 2007 murder of Ryan Skipper, a gay student. He's serving life in prison for what investigators call a hate crime.
A lot of people talking about a controversial measure that would make it a crime to use the restroom that doesn't match your sex at birth. The transgender community says the bill that just cleared a House subcommittee would be humiliating to them, but supporters say it's to protect people against sexual predators.
Snow, ice, and flooding, they're all causing major problems for nearly 25 states today. This is a live look right now at Franklin, Kentucky, being absolutely covered with snow. Well, we might not be feeling the cold temperatures like they are, but we're certainly seeing travel problems like much of the country this morning.
And that takes us to Ashley Yore live in Tampa at the International Airport, where she is tracking delays and cancellations for us.
Dan, if you're planning to fly this morning, you may want to check your flight status because thousands of flights nationwide have already been canceled. And right here in Tampa, more than 20 flights have been delayed or canceled already. You are looking at all of that red on the board, and here's why. The winter storm is just blasting all the way from Texas all the way to the northeast. You can see plenty of people still here in the airport, but again, some of them are having to rebook today or waiting on those delayed flights. Of course, we will keep you posted on all of the flights going in and out of Tampa, both on air and online.
The Humane Society of Tampa Bay goes back to court today in its effort to retain possession of Bart, better known as the zombie cat. Bart's owner buried him thinking he was dead after being hit by a car, but he clawed his way out of the ground. The owner is suing for his return. The shelter, though, says Bart should not be given back based on the circumstances leading up to his burial.
A bill that would limit the amount of time our kids spend taking standardized tests is now making its way down the legal pipeline. That measure would also eliminate some tests, including an 11th grade English test that Governor Rick Scott has already suspended this year.
It's the final day on the job, by the way, for fired Hillsborough County School Superintendent Mary Ellen Alia. She will now use saved up vacation time until her contract runs out on June 30th. The board voted to replace her with interim superintendent Jeff Akins on Tuesday.
Lindsay Logue in the ABC Action Traffic Center just updating my maps right now. Heads up in Ruskin, US 41. Northbound lanes are going to be blocked at Valroy Road because of a two-car crash with injuries. Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies and FHP both on scene. Will keep you updated. Expect one lane to be blocked, US 41, because of a broken down vehicle at Causeway Boulevard. It's been there for quite some time. It's taken them some time to remove it. Up in Land O'Lakes, State Road 54 at the Veterans, you're going to have a crash there, but no roadblock reported. And good news, northbound 275 all clear north of Beers from that emergency road repairs that was happening overnight. Now for a check at that forecast, here's Shay.
Yeah, as you walk out the door this morning, temperatures are on the warm side. It's humid out there, 69 in Tampa, 66 in St. Pete. No surprises as you hit the roads. Visibility at ground level still looking good, although we're watching a deck of low clouds. If it gets any lower and causes issues on the roads, you know you're going to hear it first from me and Lindsay. Temperatures are going to be headed to 77 by noon. 81 is a high, a slight chance for a brief shower. Otherwise, the higher rain chances start overnight tonight.
Governor Rick Scott is praising job growth in our community today. He's going to be in St. Pete in just about 3 hours to highlight continued growth at the e-commerce company, Jagged Peak.
And as we fly through your morning sprint, we end with the origin of Florida's newest superhero, Captain Citrus. Marvel Comics and the Florida Department of Justice, Citrus, that is, just releasing the second installment of the Avengers Assemble comic book with Captain Citrus. Promotes Florida orange juice as part of a delicious and healthy diet.
Pretty cool. Captain Citrus. Good Morning America is coming up next.